You're an old school guy.
Why do you feel like that's not a compliment?
No, it's a good thing.
You say it, but
Coach Coughlin's an old school guy. He's running the freaking Jacksonville Jaguars now. Look at him. Good for him, right?
Hey, listen, absolutely.
All right, so good for him. But the point being is that everybody thinks you got to have a quarterback that throws for 4,500 yards and 35 to 40 touchdowns. And in some cases, you know, Kirk Cousins almost throws for 5,000 yards last year. But you still, the nuts and bolts of the NFL, you still have to run the football.
Absolutely.
Especially if you're playing in the Northeast or the Midwest and you have an outdoor stadium and you're talking about late November, late December, you get into the playoffs, you're playing in January, you got to be able to run the football.
I mean, there's no question about it. But when we were sitting there talking about the New York Giants, and you talked about the expectation level that you have for the Giants, and you know, I just go back and say, well, you know, should they not be a better football team? And can Eli take this team to another championship? There's no question he can. But I think the one thing is when he won those 2 championships, they had a very balanced running attack.
Great defensive line,
and their defense is good. But their offensive line right now at this point, I would say, is underachieved. Fair to say?
Yeah, I would say.
Injury or whatever the reason is, they're not lived up to the expectation.
Big question for them is going to be Eric Flowers, a 23-year-old left tackle. I'm like, can everybody just calm down? He's not going to turn into Anthony Munoz overnight, but you'd like to see progression there. You'd like to see him be better. I would like to think at 23 years old, starting his 3rd year in the NFL. I mean, I got into the NFL. I was 23.
But what's the best thing to help an offensive line?
A running game.
A running game. Yeah, but the Seattle Seahawks, the same thing with them. They've had what happened in the last couple of years. Their offensive line. They had one of the best offensive lines in football, and then all of a sudden they kind of went and had to pay some of their defensive players
and their quarterback.
And look what happens to the quarterback. So I'm just saying, the best thing for an offensive line, give him a running back. That's why they went out and got Eddie Lacy in Seattle. That's why I'm looking at
Marshawn Lynch in Oakland.
Yeah, in New York Giants right now, to me, they're going to go as far as the running game takes them.